Salutations and welcome to another episode of the Single H Show. Your name is...
My name is Joseph Mills. Your name is...
The Single H.
I want to talk to you about something.
Yep.
I was reading a report today that now the Department of Defense, in talking about issues pertaining to the LGBTQIA plus
community.
Siblings, the word I'm shooting for is siblings, can only refer in official documentation LGB in their documentation. So there is this quest of removing transgender from existence, removing it from existence by refusing that it exists. They have worked in different ways to remove transgender care through federally funded insurance and so forth. There is a strong journey of removing transgender siblings that now and within official documentation, they're willing to talk about LGB, but not transgender.
Yeah.
I will also share part of that documentation now has that no government facility, no federally government facilities, no emails that come from those places are allowed to produce pronoun markers in their emails. So it would be Joseph Mills, not Joseph Mills, he, him, his.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get your response to that for a few minutes. And I want to talk about other areas where there is this strong quest of the removal of transgender identity.
So, from here I'm going to also go. We do also have some transphobes within the LGBTQIA plus community whose goal has been, I'm not going to name names, but there are services that are LGB only. That goal is to put out the trans. And the thing that they all forget is we were thus as much in the fight. We were in the fight the same time you were. We helped start the fight for you to have rights. We helped start it.
So that is as far as Stonewall.
Yep, as far as Stonewall.
Yeah.
We have been the front people. And they are dropping the front people the second it's starting to get hard for them.
Yes. And that's not all people.
Not all people, but...
And as we talk about Republicans and so forth and politics, we're not talking about all people. I stand up as a fact it's not all Christians. But we're dealing with this race, this time of erasing. It is a strong firm of eradicating an existence.
Yeah, and the thing is, people want to make things easier for themselves.
And the only way things can be easier for themselves is for it to fit into their self-produced bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the fact that I'm probably going to hit something you're going to hit on earlier. To the point that they are making it impossible for people outside the F and M to get passports.
So go ahead and discuss that for a minute. I was not getting there, but that's very true. This comes under the transgender umbrella of non-binary.
Yes.
And the non-binary community and some referendums and legislation this previous week were erased. Were completely erased.
Yes. Me being one of the wonderful non-binary people who do have an X now, if this goes fully badly, they're not gonna let us escape it by letting us have passports. Oh, how dare these people have a way out of a horrible situation that could end up in multiple deaths, and had probably already. That going off of stats, there's a good probability.
I don't want us to do throughout statements.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about something you just said before we get past it.
Yeah.
That could result in multiple deaths. Now, I want to talk through that more fully.
So
there are individuals that deal with identity so much that they are confused and hurt. And then to hear this journey that they are already confused and hurt in be presented as such an evil wrong that they are being eradicated from existence, that can drive individuals to places of such deep depression that if they don't want me here, then I don't want to be here, becomes a statement that's made.
And I'm also going to add another thing. If a group of people is presented as an enemy, it has been proven in history time and time again, if a group of people are proven as enemies, they are most likely to get murdered during that time. And I'm not going to sugarcoat things, y'all. Go watch the half-hour Power Hour if you want sugarcoating. I'm going to make it very clear that podcast is not going to be sugarcoated right now.
The fuse has been lit in the necessity of what we have to do as voices of allies. The fuse has definitely been lit.
Yeah.
Because I have never in my lifetime, I was born in 1975, I have never in my lifetime have seen such directed hurt towards one collection of people as I have in the last few weeks against transgender individuals. Please do not email me at thesingleageshow@gmail.com and talk about other hurt groups, because yes, I've seen it. But in my lifetime, and I need to put this preface, in my lifetime since 1975, I have seen the work taking place for balanced employment for persons of color. I've seen the work going on for the empowerment of the feminine identity. But unfortunately, yes, and I will hear this at thesingleageshow@gmail.com, with the removal of DEI, all of that's getting pushed back too. So I'll phrase it this way. Dear marginalized communities, we love you and we see the hurt that you're all going through.
Yet, we're only highlighting mainly the trans stuff because I'm a part of it, and it's already directly affecting things mentally. So that's what we're highlighting that because I'm a part of it.
Well, you just said it's already affecting things mentally.
Yeah.
Part of our strategy for this podcast is for you to voice your journey so that others that are going on the same journey know that they're not alone. Do you mind sharing what you mean by it's affecting your emotional health?
So, as people already know on the podcast, I have anxiety disorder. I don't hide it. And that's been growing. It feels like my anxiety is growing to the point that it would like pre-transition. That's because of all the build going on.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point that my brain is going, we're not gonna feel these feelings right now. So we're going to go into the type of depression that you feel things later. That you're not going to feel for a second until the brain feels like we have reached a breaking point, and then we'll reach those hormones for you. Whether those be good or bad. They have to hit a breaking point to feel anything.
And you're hitting that breaking point. I gotta share with you where I'm at. There is an emotional state called ally fatigue. And I think Tuesday night I hit my point of ally fatigue. I was a part of school board meeting that went on, for the love of God, for almost 7.5 hours. And the moment of public comment was at the end. And I'm going to share this. I'm kind of really glad that they did it that way. Because I watched some people kind of pill off. And some of those voices that pilled off may have been allies for the community. But I know that some of them were people that were just there to attack. And were just there to push and shove and to be bullies.
Yeah.
So I really like the strategy in that. And if it's important to you, if you're actually there to do the work and the care, then you had opportunities to speak and moments that caring connected. And it just drives me crazy. So ally fatigue, as you're also talking about your emotional place of the fear.
Yes. And I'm going to make this very, very clear. Their goal is to shock us. So, if there's any way, I've said this on the Half Hour Power Hour and the Single 8 show before, give yourself 24 hours before you, at least 24, at most, give yourself 48 hours if you can, to not read the next executive order coming through. Because the goal is to shock us. Don't give them the immediate reaction. Because that is proving to them that it works. Give it at least 48 hours before reading it. Please. We don't want to fuel their fire because they're like bullies parading at people who care. So.
And they're not even parading that they care very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, give yourself good 48 hours before you read the next one.
Yeah.
Or before you watch the next news video.
Yeah. And give yourself time to really review it before responding to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you might find holes in one of the executive orders. From the egg. From the egg. Congratulations, y'all. We're all women. I'm going to keep on saying it.
All right, that came up on the Power Hour, so I want you to talk about that on the Single 8 show. Talk about that on the Single 8 show.
So, Crazy Orange had signed an executive order.
Orange 45, Crazy Orange.
That said there's only 2 genders. But the thing is, on that bill, you will see that it said from egg, from conception.
From the moment of conception is the phrase.
So, if you have any more than a basic biology, and even if you have a good sense of basic biology, you will know that it only truly happened about a month in. Truly about 6 weeks in, where the gender and where the hormones would come in to get into the egg and change it into whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There you go, but...
That's where we're at with that.
Yes.
So, that exists in this too. There's also other places I talked about being at the school board meeting forever. There's other places that people are trying to slip in control that limits the conversation. I on Tuesday night had to listen to this concept of a unbiased educational environment, and just how harmful that is, that it really steals from the conversation of sharing history.
Yeah, because it's unbiased means you can't share anything of history on either side of the conflict.
Yeah.
That does not help in that scenario.
Yeah.
Nor that it help in science. Because guess what, folks? Science is already non-biased. It is fact. It is non-disputable. It has been proven. So,
And the more that we find out through science, the more challenging it comes to people's perceptions of how things can be.
yes.
So we cannot negate new facts by not teaching them, because it'll change the environment of the classroom.
Yeah.
And we definitely cannot do that with history, because I'm sorry, I want your little white feelings hurt, so that we know why it's important to care for people, our siblings of color.
Yes. It's okay to have your little feelings hurt, because at the end of the day, it will make more good in the world.
Did you say at the end of the gay or the end of the day?
Day.
Yes.
Day. I don't know.
Did you just say dead?
Day.
Day. Are you saying day or gay?
Day.
D-A-Y.
Yes.
Okay. There will be no end of the gay.
Yes. Gay run forever. It's
These colors don't run.
yes. You get a jet every time it rains. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's know that when the executive orders come through, they're never doing it out of fact. If not, if they were, we would have air traffic control happening.
Yeah.
So
That was a horrible situation.
yep.
And I pray for all the dear friends that have been negatively affected by that crash.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the crashes.
Crash is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's go back on our topic. Is all of this really boils down to being a smokescreen too.
Yes.
It makes it so that you and I, have to talk about this, because we have a place of advocacy in this, but we're not paying attention to. Wow, we don't have a budget strategy yet. We don't have a strategy yet on how that we're going to interact with the world community. We don't have a strategy yet on to manage some of the prices for the middle class and lower class communities.
Yep, on the taxes.
Yeah.
Because the government cannot change how high you're... Sadly can't change how much you're paying for groceries. That is not in their control.
Well, but they kind of can. Because they can make it so that our grocery prices go up or down based on how we face to interact with the world community. They can do that. But what's going on right now, if we put in tariffs, if we keep picking fights with Greenland, of all places, that destructive superpower Greenland, then all these terrible relationships will make higher tariffs on us too, which will rocket up the price of everything from gas and food to everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good thing getting imported and cheap. So, yeah, at the end of the day, they're trying to act like they're the wizard, even though they're truly the magician.
The broken old man behind the curtain.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to highlight this again. Remember that this is for shock value. Remember that remember there are people who had prepared for the executive orders, who are already working on reversing them. Because they have a 60-day pending. So, at minimum, up to 2.5 months. So, remember that there are people fighting, there are people already winning. So, please remember that we have amazing allies that are going in to help. Go help in your local LGBTQIA plus resource center. Bring them some food. They're going to need it over the next 4 years. So, please. And please remember that you're not alone. There's so many other people who are going through this. They're for sure going to be, and I'm sure there already are, go find a local support group, go find support groups online. People are more than willing to help in any shape or form.
And please remember that when that you hear someone, especially like us, especially an ally, share the words, "You're not alone." We're not saying that you're not the only person dealing with this, because that's demeaning. What we're saying is, you are not alone. You're not by yourself, because one of the things that can really cripple an individual as they're fighting through situations such as this is the feelings of being lonely. And it's really a terrible thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though right now we are the other, we will always be a little bit the other, but we have been shown to grow to be not together, so that we are a part of it. We are less and much a part of society as cis, het, white men are.
Yes.
So, let's remember that even though things are hard, we're working on it. And please, if you can, donate to the Trevor Project, any of the big ones that are helping out right now, please do.
Let's talk about those Trevor Project, GLAAD. These are the big nationwide things that are working towards LGBTQIA plus care and protection. Please do that.
Please donate if you have spare change at all. And I'm sorry that might be at the end of all of our podcasting for a while. And I'm sorry in advance.
Yeah.
But this is the way that I can share safely, and I'm gonna do it as well as I can and make sure that we have sources to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Care for those that are trying to do the caring.
Yes.
All right, that is enough. That is the Single H show for this week.
Your name is...
My name is Joseph Mills. Your name is...
The Single H. And remember, it could be gayer.